everybody, it's Liz the Shutterbugs Gal here to run through a quick tutorial in Lightroom. I'm going to open up my picture here and I'm going to just show you a couple things on how I retouch these images. So I will do my best to explain things as I go along. I will do a video on how to upload and store the images in Lightroom, so we will get to that soon, so you can see how that is. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is how I crop an image if I have to crop it. I try to get it right in camera, but that's the crop tool up there, and then we want to usually try to apply the rule of thirds at all times, but when it just doesn't seem to work for the image, we can go in and just do it however we want. I stick to a 4:6 format. That's the standard proof size. So it's just a good standard crop. When you go to resize it for ordering, you can adjust it as needed. But proofs I always do in 4:6. So now that we're done with that, we're going to move on to the next step that I like to take in my editing process. And this one was shot as a high ISO. So I'm going to do an adjustment here that kind of softens the grain, go down to luminance and noise reduction, and I'm just going to bump that up a little bit and it'll smooth out her skin there so it's not as grainy looking. It got pretty dark when we shot this. So now that that's done, I will go in and retouch her skin just a little bit to smooth it out just a little bit more. She's got some blotchiness going on. I don't ever keep it all the way up. It's pretty high. We usually go down to halfway or a little less than half. I don't usually use it on the face. I try to stay away from the face. Arms and legs is about where I use that. So I'll zoom in here and then I'll go ahead and adjust my brush. And then don't forget to use your feather. You don't want any harsh editing lines. So just go in and brush over the skin, and you can adjust those as much or as less as you need. But just be sure to keep in mind the flow and the feathering, because you don't want any harsh lines or really harsh edits. You want to keep it smooth and beautiful. So anyways, now on to the next step. I like to go with a certain edit style, and I usually keep mine a certain way throughout the session. So I used my preset that I prefer, my settings that I usually like to go to, darker shadows and blacks, higher contrast and highlights, just to give my photo some depth. And I like to adjust the temperature a little bit if it's a little too warm or a little too cool. And then I'll come in and play with the whites again just so I get that right balance. Sometimes it's all over the board. It just depends on the settings and how the light was working when I took the photo. So yeah, this is about it. This is about the style. And then I'm going to show you how we take this into Photoshop, because I'm going to go ahead and add a sky overlay. So I want to make sure that my pictures are exporting to the right folder. So we got to change that real quick. And so I'm going to find the folder that I'm putting her pictures in. That's done. Now we're going to go on to the setting here that sends it right to Photoshop. No watermark for this one. But Photoshop's going to pop up here in a minute with the picture, and it's very easy to just send your pictures over to Photoshop from Lightroom. And that's the previous one that I did with the sky overlay. So once this next one pops up, I'm going to be working on that. And that'll be this video for today. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.